What do you call it? I'm gonna document the number 13 and my relationship with God. I know most of you all think I'm absolute bloody crackers, what do you call it? I'm very aware of that. I mean, a lot of years, have heard or know that, I've got mental health issues, which, I won't go into, and, but there's a lot you don't know and there's a lot you don't understand kind of thing. And like I wrote the other day, not that you would understand or want to take the time to understand because I'm nothing to use, like people and my friends, this kind of thing, you know. So it's not that you don't understand because you don't understand it. There's no reason why you would. You would have heard my stories of the hospital, or all that lot, and that's it. There's a lot you don't, know, and there's no point in me trying to convince people like otherwise because it is what it is. It being possible to change 1,000 people's minds, kind of thing. You know, so I just put a plod on, accept people think I'm happy about it, and then I just get along with my life kind of thing. But God does send me direct messages for the number 13. I don't have a timetable of exactly when it started because like I say a lot's happened in the past 5 years. But uh, definitely, after 2012, a few times before 2012. And I know this might sound very contrary to what I said before, but like I say, a lot's happened. I'm so very confused, where it all began, kind of thing. But definitely after 2012, right? It started off with a time being 13 minutes past the hour, kind of thing. And the first time it happened, it wouldn't mean a thing. It's just a time. It's 13 minutes past. It wouldn't mean a thing. And then again, I look at the time an hour later, completely randomly. It'll be 13 minutes past, and again, it wouldn't mean a thing. Why would it? It's just a time. 13 minutes past. I think I could come home from shopping. I'd look at what I call the receipt, and the time would be 13 minutes past the hour. And maybe the first time I didn't notice it, and then you come home from work, and again I look at the bus ticket, and the time would be 13 minutes past. Then I started thinking, 13. That's what I call it coming up a lot. And then as the days went on, it became more frequent every time I looked at the time, completely randomly. I wasn't looking at the time every 2 minutes, where at one stage it would get to 13 minutes past, thinking, oh my god, it's 13. I'm sure if you looked at the clock for 60 minutes, at one point it's going to land on 13. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So I wasn't. It was just completely random. And my brother came round one day and asked me if I'd ever seen The Sopranos, and I said, I'd like to watch it, but it would seem too much of a task, to get through all, for all the seasons, kind of thing. And I asked him how many episodes in the first season, and he said 13. So I thought, fucking hell, 13 again. That number's coming up a bit. And then I said, well, I'll watch the first episode. If I get into it, and then I'll carry on watching, and I'll let you know what I think. I watched the first episode. It made Jay's 13th birthday. Little random things like that, over the week, and then it became part of my cigarettes. Counting my cigarettes to be 13 cigarettes. There had to be 13 cigarettes, and again randomly, not every 2 minutes. You count your cigarettes from 19. I'm sure at some point you'll get to 13, 19, count them, 18, count them, 17, count them, 16. You'll get to 13 completely randomly. I went to a friend's house for a drink, me and my brother, Kath, and his partner, and I said to her, count your cigarettes, see how many cigarettes are in your packet. She counted them, started laughing, and there were 13. So that, and just hundreds of little, tiny things like that. And then it became part of my scratch cards, right? Then it became part of my scratch cards, randomly get a scratch card with the number 13 on it. Then I started thinking it means something. I believe in God. I'm not talking about the prophet stuff I did in 2012, right? I can't even begin to explain about that, right? I can't begin to explain, you know, about that situation, right? But, you know, then I thought it's something to do with God, right? The number, you know, her number 13 is wanting to tell me something, but I didn't want to look into it straight away because I didn't want it to influence my mind, influence my thoughts, and kind of put things in my head to what it could be. I want to work it out for myself. So then it became part of my scratch cards randomly. 13, I'd watch a YouTube video. I'd be almost directed. It's not like just a coincidence looking at the time. I never look at the time, you know, on like anything, you know, scratch cards, you know, I've never looked at the numbers, you know, to see what are numbers. I mean, why would I? You know what I mean? Scratch card, you don't care about the number, you just care about the scratch card kind of thing. So, you know, but it was almost like I was being directed to it. And then because I watched porn, right, it became part of the videos. You know, I'd go on length of the video, 13 minutes and 4 seconds, 4 minutes and 13 seconds. So then I started speaking to it about sin. Is it warning me not to sin? Is this what it's about? Not to sin kind of thing. I I begged Kath for some money for some scratch cards once. I said, have you got any money for some scratch cards? And I'm being the selfish person I am. You know, I mourned on and mourned on and mourned on like a bloody affectionate little bloody child. Anyway, she gave in and she gave me £35. I had her for £5 for my taxi fare and £30 for three £10 scratch cards. I rang the taxi. The taxi came. I got in the car. The time was 13 minutes past the hour. The temperature in the car was 13 degrees. I thought, fucking hell, you know, it's fucking happening a lot now. So then I thought he's warning me not to, you know, not to gamble, not to sin kind of thing. Right. So then I went into the shop and I asked like I asked the guy for the you know, for the free scratch cards. He put the scratch cards facing up. The first number facing up was 13. I got in the car and I was telling the taxi driver, you know, about this, you know, number 13, and did it mean anything in, like in the Quran? Was there any significant meaning? Anyway, he didn't give me an answer, he just looked at me kind of thing, you know. So then over the radio, a voice said, car 13, 13. And believe me, he heard it as well before he started bloody thinking, car 13, 13. I said to him, is your car number 13? And he went, yeah. Unbelievable. So I get in the car, right, bearing in mind the previous times number 13 coming up, the scratch cards singular being 13, right, pornography films 13, me believing it had to do with sin, right, I get in the car, it's 13 past the hour degrees, 13, go in the shop, the scratch card face up his number 13, I get in the car, over the radio, car 13, 13, so that's what it was, about sin and my ways. So I went on Google and typed in the meaning of the number 13 in the Bible, and that's what came up, sin and rebellion. That's what it talks about, you know, sin and rebellion. So that's what it was. That was my theory. God were warning me. Now I believe it started off with a time. I believe it started off with a time. I believe it started off with the bus tickets. I believe it started off with the cigarettes to grab my attention, to lay the foundations, to get me thinking, what does it mean? He couldn't just start off with the scratch cards. He couldn't just start off with the pornography. Because, like I say, it wouldn't have meant anything. I had to figure what it, you know, to figure something out, it has to, you know, you have to be thinking of it kind of thing. Or, you know, for something to happen like a situation like this, you couldn't just start off with the scratch card being 13. Because it would have been like the first time it was 13 minutes past, it would have meant a thing. So I believe God laid the foundations to get me thinking, you know, throwing number 13 in my face, think about it, work it out, and that's what it was about my scratch cards, about like my pornography. Like I said, but what's happened, you know, a lot's happened, and I've, you know, I put things up on Facebook, I've deleted them, I've put them up because I'm not a prophet, I'm nobody. 2012, like I say, I can't explain, right? I can't explain that, right? Well, I can explain it, right? But, you know, for certain reasons, I can't talk about it kind of thing, right? But, right, you know, I'm not a prophet, right? I'm nothing. So this is not me saying I've got a message to spread to the world. You know, this is not me holy and holy. I tell both sides of my personality. I'm a sinful person. I am. I'm a sinful person. I'm a womanizer. You know what I mean? Certain stresses in my life have kind of, psychologically I'm battered. My head's bloody mashed, through the last 5 years of my life. You won't believe what I've been through, what I'm still going through. And again, there's no reason why you would want to believe, because to you, I'm nothing. So that's absolutely fine. You might see me post, you might have heard a few things, you might think a poor sod, you might think what a mad bastard, then you get along with your day, you make your kids tea, you go to work, you go out on a weekend, that's it, you've got your own life, got your own problems, last thing you want to be doing, is feeling sorry for me kind of thing. So it's not a case that no one, doesn't care kind of thing, or thinks I'm fucking crackers. It's just the way it is kind of thing. But I'm going to document it, right, from now on. For instance, a friend came around the other day, I said to her, count your cigarettes. And she did, and there were 13. You know what I mean? The amount of times the number 13 come up, I uploaded that video the other day. I uploaded, right, the video of the day, right, and I paused a video on number 13, right, talking about the end times, right, talking about the last 5 years of my life and God sending me messages, right, and I paused it on 13, 13. Do you know the odds of that happening, right? Do you know the odds of pausing on 13, 13 when I'm talking about the number 13 and God sending me messages? Other videos on the end time has been 13 minutes. I'm guaranteeing you, right? And there's nothing you could say that could fuel, like this, because I'm not saying I'm a prophet. There's nothing harmful you could say. You know what I mean? For instance, that video I did, pause it on 13, 13. Not one person said, fucking hell, that's fucking mental. Because I believe people didn't, because, I think they didn't because it'll be fueling some kind of delusion. I'm very aware you'll think I'm crackers, just like I've just fucking wrote about half hour ago. I'm aware you'll think I'm crazy. And if I was crazy, I wouldn't be aware you would think I was crazy. Like I say, I'm not saying I'm a prophet, so that's another reason why it's not a delusion. It's just my, relationship with God, and in sending me messages for the number 13. So I'm gonna document it, no matter what people think. Right, because like I say, right, the amount of times it's happened is more than a coincidence. I'm not looking for this. And when the number 17 came up, I looked into that. My brother said, fucking hell, you'll be banging on, you'll be banging on about that next, right? When I looked into that after watching some porn, because that's what I did, I watched some porn, right? Right? I looked into that. Number 17 talks about sin. I talked about my life being a direct to Luke chapter 21. Everything it says in that chapter, apart from the last part, right? Apart from the last part in that chapter, right? Luke chapter 21. If you're interested in this, right, or you want a bloody read to see what I'm talking about, look into it. Luke chapter 21 in the New Testament. Right, that has been a direct link to my life. I could outline detail that chapter, right, and every point in there apart from the last one, which is you'll be hated by all, right, has happened in my life. So we'll just see where the days take us, right? We'll just see what happens, right? But I guarantee you, right, I will prove, right, in the coming weeks, right, 'cause I'm gonna do it every day now, no matter what people say. I'll be faced with some struggles. I'll be faced with some, some problems along the way. Trust me. You know, people think I'm bloody crackers, or silly bloody people, putting silly bloody comments, because, I'm sure that'll happen, like in the coming weeks, when I start putting things up every day, kind of thing, a few people won't be able to help themselves. Right, so I'm gonna document it, but anyway, I'll just quickly sum up. It started off with a time, because God had to lay the foundation to get me thinking, what does it mean, right? And when I worked out about sin and rebellion, right, scratch cards, pornography, all that kind of stuff, then number 17 came up. 17 goes alongside the number 13. It's in the same kind of story about sin and times. In, the meaning of number 17 in what call it Elag in the Bible, right, meaning it talks about Corinthians chapter 13, Corinthians verse 13, 13. Right, I'm sorry for keeping putting the camera there, but I've got no bloody choppers, you see, and you know, sometimes my mouth gets a bit bloody, a bit bloody dry kind of thing. I look bloody stupid, I look bloody stupid kind of thing. So I just keep after put the camera away kind of thing, so I don't look bloody stupid. Right, yeah. So you know, number 13 goes alongside number 17. My life has been a direct link to Luke chapter 21. In that, everything it says apart from the last part, you know. So I will document it from now on. And a few people will, think it's more than a coincidence, because like I say, trust me. And a lot of people think I'm bloody crackers because God said they will, for the time being kind of thing, Again, it's like almost thoughts, that got to do this kind of thing. But I like to say, what's the purpose? What's the purpose to this? People think I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. So what is the purpose? But I'm sure there must be a purpose. There has to be a purpose to all this. It can't just mean bloody nothing. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll bloody keep you posted. God bless.